Hello students, welcome to Anne's classes. Let's do direct and inverse variations, chapter 10, exercise 10a. Page number 129, question 2. In which of the following tables x and y vary directly? So in question 1, we have a table here. We're going to find out whether x and y vary directly. So in that case, we have to find the ratio of each of these x and y here. This will be x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3 and x4 y4, and we have to reduce it to the lowest term and see if they form a constant. If x and y, the ratio between them is a constant, then we say that x and y vary directly. So let's begin by doing that. So let's take x1, y1. x1 by y1 is 3 by 4.5. Now let's reduce this to the lowest term. Since we have a decimal number here, let's make it a whole number by multiplying this by 10, and we multiply this also by 10 in that case. So now 3 into 10 is 30, 4.5 into 10 is 45. Reduce this to the lowest term. We can reduce both by 15. We can divide both by 15. So when we divide by 15, what do we get? 15 twos are 30 and 15 threes are 45. So 2 by 3 we've got. Now let's take x2 by y2. x2 by y2 and see what we get. So here we have 5 by 7.5. Again, let's remove the decimal point. Let's multiply it by 10. Here also by 10. Now what do we get? We get 50 by 75. Now reduce it to the lowest term. Here in this case we can divide both by 25. So when you divide both by 25, what do you get? You get 25 twos are 50 and 25 threes are 75. So here also we've got 2 by 3. Let's take the next one, 8 by 12, which is x3 y3. We can take it here, x3 by y3 is 8 by 12. Reduce this to the lowest term, both can be divided by 4. So we get 4 twos are 8 and 4 threes are 12. So here also we've got 2 by 3. Let's take the last one and see, which is x4 y4. So x4 by y4 is equal to 11 by 16.5. So convert this to a whole number. So that is multiplying by 10, multiplying both by 10, we get 110 by 165. You can reduce this to the lowest term by using 5 and keep moving that way. Otherwise, you can straight away reduce it to the lowest term by dividing both of them by 55. So 55 into 2 will give us 110, into 3 will give us 165. So now as you can see, when we reduce the first ratio, we got 2 by 3. Second one also we got 2 by 3. Third one 2 by 3, and the last one also 2 by 3. When it is a constant, then we say that x and y are in direct proportion or direct variation. So here what do we see? x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2, and this is equal to x3 by y3, which is equal to x4 by y4, and all these are equal to 2 by 3. That means this is a constant. So we say that it is a constant and that x and y are in direct variation. Now let's look at the table here. This is question 2. You need to find out whether they are in direct variation or not. So here we have the first one, that is x1 by y1, x1 by y1, which is 16 by 32. Reduce this to the lowest term. Both are divisible by 16 itself. So what do we get? 16 ones are 16 and 16 twos are 32. So we got 1 by 2. Let's take x2 by y2, and that is 30 by 60. Here also we can cancel both the zeros, divide both by 3. So here what do we get? 3 ones are 3 and 3 twos are 6. Now let's take x3 by y3, and that is 40 by 80. 40 by 80, reducing it to the lowest term. First we can cancel both and then divide it by 4. We can divide both by 4 itself. 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. So here also we've got 1 by 2. Let's take x4 by y4. So here what do we get? 56 by 84. Let's divide both by 7 first and see what we get. So when we divide by 7, we get 7 eights are 56 and 7 twelves are 84. Now we can divide both by 4. So divide both by 4 and see what you get. 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12. So here let's see what values we got. So we got 1 by 2 here. Here also we got 1 by 2. Here we got 1 by 2. But the last one is 2 by 3. So how do we write this? We can say x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2, which is equal to x3 by y3, but this is not equal to x4 by y4. They should all be equal. Only then we can say that they are a constant and that they vary directly. So in this case, you can say x and y are not in direct variation, because as you can see, the first three are equal, but the last one is not equal. So the x and y, the values are not in direct variation. Let's look at the third question and see whether x and y vary directly. So again, x1, y1, this is x2, this is y2, this is x3 and y3, x4 and y4. So let's take the first ratio, x1 by y1, and that is 27 by 81. So here we can divide both by 27 itself. So when you divide by 27, we get 27 ones are 27, 27 threes are 81. Now let's take x2 by y2, and that is 45 by 180. Here we can divide both by 45 itself. So let's divide by 45. So when we divide, what do we get? We get 45 ones are 45. Here 45 into 4 is 180. So already you can see the difference here, isn't it? So this itself tells us that x and y are not in direct proportion. But we need to continue and work this out. So let's take x3 by y3, and that is equal to 54 by 216. Both these are divisible by 54 itself. So let's divide both by 54. So here we get 54 ones are 54. 54 into 4 is 216. Let's take x4 by y4, and that is 75 by 225. Here we can divide both by 75. So we get 75 ones are 75 and 75 into 3 is 225. So let's see what we've got. We've got 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. So let's write out finally what we have. So we have x1 by y1, which is not equal to x2 by y2. It's not equal. As you can see, x1 by y1 is 1 by 3, x2 by y2 is 1 by 4. But that is equal to x3 y3 because it's the same. So let's write that. So that is equal to x3 by y3, which is 1 by 4. But again, it's not equal to x4 by y4 because this is 1 by 3. So again, we say it is not equal to x4 by y4. So what do we say finally? We say that x and y are not in direct variation. Question 3. If x and y vary directly, find the values of x, y and z. So here as you can see, we have unknown values x, y and z. We have to find those values, and the only known value of x and y that are that vary directly are 3 by 36. Here it gives here the question says very clearly that x and y vary directly. So in that case, 3 by 36 is equal to x by 60. It's equal to y by 96. It's also equal to 10 by z. So let's begin by saying, since x and y are in direct variation, 3 by 36 is equal to x by 60. We can also say 3 by 36 is equal to y by 96. Also, 3 by 36 is equal to 10 by z. Now we can find the values of x, y and z. So let's begin by using the first one, that is 3 by 36 is equal to x by 60. So to find here, we just have to cross multiply. So cross multiply 36 and x and 60 and 3. So here what do we get? We get 60 into 3 is equal to x into 36. Now we're going to find the value of only x. So we say x is equal to 60 into 3 and we take 36 to the other side. So it becomes division. Now let's see what we can cancel. We can cancel 3 and 36 or 36 and 60 by 6. So let's try that. 6 6 are 36 and 6 tens are 60. Now I can cancel 3 and 6. 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6. I can still cancel 2 and 10. So it becomes 2 ones are 2, 2 fives are 10. So we have got the value of x. X is equal to 5. So we've got the first one, the value of x is 5. Now let's take the next one. 3 by 36 is equal to y by 96. So 3 by 36 is equal to y by 96. So here also we cross multiply 3 and 96 and 36 and y. So let's say that. So now what do we have? 3 into 96 is equal to y into 36. Now we can find the value of y by saying 3 into 96 divided by 36, because 36 is multiplication and comes here becomes division. Now here we can cancel 36 and 96. Both are divisible by 12. So we can say 12 threes are 36 and 12 eights are 96. Now I can also cancel this 3 and this 3. Both can be cancelled. So cancel that and that. So what is left is only 8. So now we have found the value of y also. Y is equal to 8. Now let's take the third one here. 3 by 36 is equal to 10 by z. So let's write that. 3 by 36 is equal to 10 by z. Again, let's cross multiply 3 and z and 36 and 10. So here what do we have? We have 3 into z is equal to 36 into 10. So now we can find the value of z by saying 36 into 10 divided by 3. Now we can cancel 36 and 3. 3 ones are 3 and here 3 into 12. 12 threes are 36. Now nothing more to cancel, so we multiply 12 into 10. So we have found the value of z also. Z is 12 into 10, which is 120. So we have found the three values, that is x is equal to 5, y is equal to z and 8 and z is equal to 120. Question 4. A truck consumes 28 liters of diesel for moving through a distance of 448 kilometers. How much distance will it cover in 64 liters of diesel? So when it used 28 liters of diesel, the truck covered a distance of 448 kilometers. Now if we increase the diesel, that is make it 64 liters, definitely the distance also will increase, isn't it? So this is direct variation. Let's begin by saying the distance covered by truck in 28 liters of diesel is 48 kilometers. So we can write that 48 kilometers. So the distance covered by the truck in 64 liters of diesel will be x kilometers. So now let's draw a table. So here we have diesel in liters. That is, in the beginning we have 28 liters. So that is 28 and the distance is 448 kilometers. Then again we have 64 liters and the distance we don't know, so we said let it be x kilometers. So this is direct variation. So we can write 28 by 448 is equal to 64 by x. Now we can do cross multiplication, multiply x and 28 and 448 and 64. So this is now 28 into x is equal to 64 into 448. Now, to find the value of x, we say 64 into 448 divided by 28. 28 and 448 can be cancelled. 28 once, and here 28 into 16 is 448. Now we have to multiply 64 into 16, which will now be equal to 1024. So we have found the value of x. X is equal to 1024. And what is x? Here we said, let the distance covered by the truck in 64 liters of diesel be x kilometers. So we have found that distance, and that is 1024 kilometers. So this is our answer. Now let's do the same sum in the arrow method. So in the arrow method, we make two columns. One is, now let's look at the numbers, and based on that we make a columns. Here we are talking about 28 liters of diesel, and here we are talking about a distance of 448 kilometers. So our columns can be diesel in liters and distance in kilometers. So now let's write diesel in liters is 28 liters, and the distance that can be covered with 28 liters is 448 kilometers. Now, how much distance? So we don't know the distance, so this is going to be x, can be covered in 64 liters. So now, as we can see, we have 28 liters, and that's going to be increased to 64. That means 448 kilometers will also increase. So direct variation, so we have an arrow mark coming like this and this. So now remember, if it is direct variation, the arrowhead should point in the same direction. Now we are going to work this out. So look at the number that is close to the arrowhead. It is 64. So that becomes the numerator of our fraction, and the other number becomes the denominator. Similarly, here also, just see what is close to the arrowhead, and that will become our numerator, and the other number becomes the denominator, 448. Then we continue just like the previous method. That is, we do cross multiplication and find the value of x. So here it is 64 into 448 is equal to x into 28. So this means x is equal to 64 into 448 divided by 28. Now we can cancel 28 and 448. 28 once and 28 into 16. Now we multiply 64 into 16, which is equal to 1024. So what have we found? We have found x, that is 1024, and this is 1024 kilometers, because we said x is the distance in kilometers. So this is our answer, 1024 kilometers, when we do it in the arrow method. Question 5. For 100 kilometers, a taxi charges 1,800 rupees. How much will it charge for a journey of 120 kilometers? So for 100 kilometers, it is 1,800 rupees. For 120 kilometers, it's going to be more. So when the distance has increased, the charge also will increase. So again, this is direct variation. So let's write that the amount charged by the taxi for a journey of 100 kilometers is 1,800 rupees. So let the amount charged by the taxi for a journey of 120 kilometers be rupees x. So let's get a table ready. So here we have distance in kilometer and charge in rupees. So we can write that charge in rupees. So distance in kilometer, now here it's written 100 kilometers. So let's write that 100 kilometers. It is 1,800 rupees, 1,800. Now 120 kilometers, so 120, we don't know, so let this be x. Now this is direct variation. So we can write 100 by 1,800 is equal to 120 by x. So again, here we can cross multiply and write this as 100 into x is equal to 1,800 into 120. Now we can find the value of x. We can say x is equal to 1,800 into 120 divided by 100. So here we can cancel the two zeros here and the two zeros here. So we just multiply 18 into 120. And that is 2160. So we have found the value of x. And what is x? We said let the amount charged by the taxi for a journey of 120 kilometers be x. So now we have found it. So let's write it here. So that is rupees 2160. Let's do this in the arrow method. So again, we make two columns based on what is given. So here we have kilometers. So let's write distance in kilometers. And then we have the charges here in rupees. So we can say charge in rupees. So we can put that symbol rupees. Now let's write what's given here. Distance in kilometer is 100 kilometers. So let's write that 100 kilometers and the charge is 1800 rupees. So here now we have again 120 kilometers, that is distance, and we are asked how much will it charge. That means charge is going to be x. So here from 100 it is increasing to 120. Similarly, the charges also will increase because the distance is increasing. So again, it is direct variation. Let's draw our arrowheads pointing downwards together. Both sides it will be pointing in the same direction. So since it's direct variation, we can write this as it is. Now we have to see the number that is closest to the head of the arrow mark. So the arrow head is here, so 120 is next to it. So this means 120 is the numerator of our fraction and 100 is the denominator. This is equal to, here also what is closest to the arrowhead, that is x. So that is going to be x by 1800. So now we have to cross multiply. So we cross multiply this, and what do we get when we cross multiply? We get 120 into 1800 is equal to x into 100. Now we are going to find the value of x. We can say x is equal to 120 into 1800 divided by 100. Okay, so let's cancel. We can cancel the two zeros here and multiply 120 into 18. That is equal to 2160. So we have found the value of x. X is equal to 2160. And what is x? X is the charges in rupees. So let's write our unit also. So this becomes 2160 rupees, which is our answer. Question 6. If 27 identical articles cost 1890 rupees, how many articles can be bought for 1750 rupees? Okay, so when we had 1890 rupees, we could get 27 articles. Now the amount has reduced. From here, it has now become 1750. That means the number of articles also will reduce, isn't it? So again, this is direct variation. So let's write down our statements. Number of articles that can be bought for 1890 rupees. So let's write rupees. How many can we get? We can get 27 articles. Now, let the number of articles that can be bought for 1750 rupees, let this be x. This is the number of articles. So now let's get our table. So first we have 27 articles. Let's write that. And 1890 rupees. So cost in rupees 1890. Then we have again the rupees here. So that is 1750. So what is missing is the number of articles where we will write x. So now this also is direct variation. So we can say 27 by 1890 is equal to x by 1750. Now cross multiply 27 and this 1750, 1890 and x. So let's multiply that now. So here we have 27 into 1750 is equal to x into 1890. So now we can find the value of x. X is equal to 27 into 1750 divided by 1890. So let's try and cancel. I can cancel this 0 and this 0. What else can we cancel? Can we cancel 27 and 189? Yes, 27 ones are 27. 27 into 7 is 189. We can also cancel 175 and 7. So let's do that. 7 twos are 14. There is 3 left, 35. So 7 fives are 35. So what do we have? This is 7 ones. So we only have 25 left. So x is equal to 25. And what did we say 25 is? It is a number of articles that can be bought for 1750. So what is our answer here? Number of articles that can be bought is 25 articles. So this is our answer. So in the arrow method, let's do the sum. So here we have the arrow method. So now we are going to look out for the columns. To make the columns, let's look at the first number. It is 27 articles. So we can say number of articles. For the second column, look at the next number. 1890 is the cost, so rupees. So cost in rupees. So what do we have first? We have 27 articles and the cost is 1890. So this is the cost. Then we have again the cost here, that is 1750. So now we have to find the number of articles, that is going to be X. So here as you can see, the cost has reduced from 1890, it's become 1750. That means the number of articles also will reduce. So we can draw our arrowheads this way. So we can say draw the arrowheads in such a way that both are going the same direction because it's direct variation. So again, now to write out our steps, see what is close to the arrowhead. Close to the arrowhead is 27. So 27 is the numerator, x is the denominator. On the other side also, what is close to the arrowhead is 1890 and the denominator will be the other number 1750. Now let's cross multiply both. So when we cross multiply, what do we get? We say 27 into 1750 is equal to x into 1890. Now to find the value of x, we say 27 into 1750 divided by 1890. Now let's cancel what we can. We can cancel 1 0 and 1 0 here. We can also cancel 27 and 189. 27 ones and 27 into 7 is 189. We can also cancel 7 and 175. 7 ones and this is 25. So we have found the value of x and x is 25. And what is x here? X is the number of articles. So we can say 25 articles. So when we reduce the amount, can you see the number of articles also has reduced. So this is our answer. We will stop with that for now, children. In our next video, we will continue with the remaining questions. Thank you, children.